Great crowd on hand, and as Jim mentioned, this is one of the loudest stadiums, if not the loudest stadium in the NFL. Great night for football, 73 degrees, bit of humidity, but the weather has been outstanding here in the Pacific Northwest.
Perfect night for football, Sam, and what a great game. Hopefully, I know it's preseason, doesn't count for anything, but it matters, trust me, to the guys on the field.
And Mark Treston said this is a good point of the preseason for his team to get out on the road, experience a road trip, go to the hotel, get everything ready, preparation for a game against a terrific team.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. I mean, you got to get used to those type of conditions and the travel and logistics that are involved.
Robbie Gould kicks it off. Percy Harvin waits 7 yards deep, and here he comes. He's got great speed. He gets outside. Gould forces him to the sideline, and he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. Percy Harvin, who was injured most of last season, what a dangerous weapon he is.
Well, you look, he had 3 of the biggest plays in Super Bowl 48, Sam. You look at the big run on the ghost route around the end. He has a 102-yard kickoff return in the Super Bowl. He really is a spark, and hey, that's why they felt comfortable letting Golden Tate go in free agency. This guy is one fantastic explosive player.
47-yard return, and the Seahawks start from the 39-yard line. Bears have Willie Young starting at one defensive end. Lamar Houston the other. Off the play fake, Russell Wilson steps up, nobody open, starts to move, and that's when he's at his best. He picks up about 3 on the play as he goes out of bounds. Check out the Bears on defense. Jeremiah Ratliff, Stephen Paya in the middle, Willie Young starting for Jared Allen. Shea McClellan starts at linebacker. We'll see a lot of Jonathan Bostic, especially in passing situations. And keep an eye on the safety situation. Ryan Mundy and the rookie Brock Vereen starting. 2nd and 7. Russell Wilson in his 3rd year out of Wisconsin. Marshawn Lynch, his first carry of the preseason. He held out for a week at the start of training camp. Then they brought him back, or he came back. Did not play much last week, couple of plays, and now this is his first carry of preseason.
Yeah, you look at it, they sweeten the pot a little bit, and that's what Seattle does. They run along the left side, and that's really going to be a big test right now for Willie Young, and this is what Mel Tucker was talking about, because Jared Allen's out, he'll be flipping on both sides. Free agent signed from the Detroit Lions will be playing right and left defensive end tonight. We'll see how he holds up against Marshawn Lynch.
Here's 3rd and 4. Wilson with time, and he completes it. First down for the Seahawks inside the 40. Tillman on the tackle of Jermaine Kearse, the 3rd-year man out of Washington, a 17-yard pickup on 3rd down.
And you look at this play right here, it's just a little spot route. That's all they're doing with the outside receiver. He finds the spot, and they clear it out for him. And just, it's good timing by Russell Wilson. That's why it's thrown on the spot, and Mel Tucker obviously wants to get fired up right now and get this defense playing, because they need to communicate even defensively when you're on the road in Seattle.
One of the keys he talked about was getting off the field on 3rd down. Didn't do it that time. Marshawn Lynch, he runs hard. He's had 3 consecutive seasons where he's rushed for over 1,000 yards and had 10 or more touchdown runs.
He is incredible. Well, since you go back to 2011, no back has rushed for more yardage. He's got over 3,700 yards and 39 total touchdowns, Sam, and that's a reason why he was able to hold out and they give him a bump in pay.
A lot of people feel with Marshawn Lynch that he is the heartbeat of the offense for Seattle. Off the play fake, Wilson being rushed and gets rid of it. Good rush by Lamar Houston, putting pressure on Russell Wilson.
Look, and these were the keys on this play, because when you look at it, Mel Tucker knows that they're going to get a lot of different looks. Look at right here. Gets held up when you look at Bostic, forces him out of the pocket, and then you look at obviously Lamar Houston. He tracks him down and allows Russell Wilson, or makes Russell Wilson throw it away. But that's the keys. It's about keeping Russell in the pocket, be ready for physical runners in 2-back and 1-back sets versus Seattle, and certainly the level of route combinations, because Seattle will take deep shots during this game.
Here's 3rd and 3. Off the fake, Wilson being rushed by Mundy, gets rid of it and completes it to Percy Harvin. Inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. Once again, a big 3rd down play, this one for 25 yards.
Just a little shallow cross route, and again, there's going to be a lot of man coverage tonight by the Bears. And Mel Tucker told us about that. You see right there, they blitz the safety, Ryan Mundy. That means it's man-to-man on the backside. Why? Because you want a safety up there to stop the run. There's going to be a lot of play action, so it's going to test the Bears' corners tonight.
Ryan Mundy and Danny McCray are the safeties, 5 defensive backs in. 7th play of this drive, 1st and goal for the Seahawks. Lynch cuts it back. He's in, touchdown. Quite an opening drive for the Seahawks, who last week against San Diego scored on their first 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal.
They were impressive, and they're impressive tonight right now because they ran a little no huddle last week. This is just a shotgun draw play. I don't think it's scheduled to go backside to the weak side like that. You over pursue on the defensive line by the defensive end. That allows Marshawn Lynch to cut it up to get the easy touchdown.
The extra point experiment is done for this preseason, but look for a change in the extra point for next season. Now back to the spot at the 2. The kick from the 10 by Stephen Hauschka, and the Seattle Seahawks have taken a 7-0 lead. Marshawn Lynch, he carries the load, and he's in for the touchdown. Seahawks have scored on their first possession. The Bears had won the coin toss, but have deferred, and the Seahawks scoring, and there is Jay Cutler awaiting. Santonio Holmes, we will see him make his Bears debut a little later on. They want to get him in for a few plays to get a feel for what he can do.
Well, we know he's had a history. He's been a good punt returner as well, so he could provide some production in the punt return game, but certainly the 3rd wide receiver position. If something were to happen to Marshall or Jeffrey, you've got to have somebody with valuable experience, and Holmes provides that.
Stephen Hauschka kicks it off. Michael Spurlock, the first man up on the return now from the 1-yard line as the Bears look for a kickoff return man. Spurlock is stopped short of the 20-yard line. 18-yard return. And the Bears get their first chance on offense, down 7-0.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by North Shore University Health System and sponsored by Chase, Miller Lite, your local Ford stores, and United.
We are back in Seattle, where the crowd gets loud, as it always does. The Bears will start from the 19. Jay Cutler, having an outstanding preseason, has connected on over 72% of his passes, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Have to manage the noise out here at Century Link. They worked on silent count all week long from underneath center and the shotgun.
Out of the shotgun, Roberto Garza is the center. Matt Forte in the backfield with Cutler. 3 wide receivers, everyone out. Brandon Marshall with a catch down around the 24-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play. For the Bears on offense, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and the key, we'll see Josh Morgan to start, looking for a 3rd wide receiver. Tony Fiammetta will be in for the 2-back situations. Michael Lola starts at right tackle. Jordan Mills returned to practice this week, but still out as they take a go-slow approach as he returns from a foot injury. Cutler checking off at the line on 2nd and 5. Cutler gets time, throws sideline a little too high for Alshon Jeffrey. He was well covered on the play by Byron Maxwell. And this is one of the best secondaries in the NFL.
There's no doubt. Richard Sherman, his play speaks for himself. He had 8 interceptions a year ago. You look at the 2 safeties, Earl Thomas, he's a 2-time All-Pro. Cam Chancellor, probably the biggest safety in the National Football League. He was 2nd team All-Pro. And Byron Maxwell did a nice job filling in for Brandon Browner a year ago.
Right now you're seeing the Sherman-Brandon Marshall matchup. Josh Morgan in as the 3rd wide receiver. Cutler connects with Brandon Marshall. It was Marshall to the other side, not opposite Sherman. This time covered by Jeremy Lane, and it's a first down for the Bears.
Yeah, it ends up being just a shotgun right here, and it looks like it's man. See, that's the thing about Seattle. It always looks like it's press man-to-man coverage, and it's really not. It ends up being a cover 3, but that's a mismatch when you're on Jeremy Lane. Jeremy Lane's the 3rd quarter coming in for Seattle. Brandon Marshall will work him all day long on the spot route right there.
Marshall to the sideline. Morgan and Alshon Jeffrey, the wideouts. Tony Fiametta's in the backfield with Matt Forte. First down for the Bears. Off the play fake. Cutler throws. It's incomplete. Sherman covering Alshon Jeffrey on the play. The Chicago Bears Network presents Inside the Bears, a weekly magazine show on Fox 32 Chicago and My 50 Chicago. Hosted by Anthony Adams and Lindsey Petruni, Inside the Bears is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Marshall is back in. Matt Mulligan is the tight end, number 85. Mulligan played very well against Jacksonville last week after the injury to Zach Miller. Cutler dropping deep and throwing to Alshon Jeffrey. First down Bears. Good throw by Cutler.
And that's 5 straight passes for the Bears. And this is a pretty good pass rushing team. Granted, they lost Red Bryant and Chris Clemens to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the Bears right now, that's how you silent a good defense and a good pass rush. Look at the protection. Beautiful. Way to move in the pocket, shuffle his feet when you look at Jay Cutler delivering a strike.
Forte off the carry on first down, and that's something the Bears want to get going is the run game. Forte was minus 7 yards rushing over the first 2 games. That was a good run. That was more of what they want to see in the run game.
There's no doubt. He's an explosive and elusive player when you look at Forte, especially over Bushrod. That's no slouch at left tackle from the Bears. I thought he should have been in a Pro Bowl a 3rd time a year ago when you look at Jermon Bushrod.
3 wide receivers to the right. Michael Spurlock is in with Josh Morgan and Brandon Marshall. Martellus Bennett is the tight end. The play fake to Forte, the quick throw to Marshall was broken up.
Tight window right there.
Middle linebacker Brock Coyle came over to help out in coverage.
Yeah, that's another rookie. He's getting a lot of playing time. They want to take it easy on Bobby Wagner, their star middle backer, but this rookie from San Diego State, or Montana, has done a fine job when you look at Brock.
2nd and 10 for the Bears at the Seahawks 42. 8th play of this drive for the Bears. 3 wide receivers in. Everybody out. Cutler too high. It seemed to get away from him. He was going for Alshon Jeffrey toward the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know if it wasn't really the pass rush. It looked like Jay just couldn't follow through on that particular play. He was going to the right guy. It was wide open. We look at Alshon Jeffrey in the flat. And typically, those are going to be the areas of vulnerability in a cover 3. Granted, sometimes they lock on in their cover 3, and that's what looks like man. Normally, their boundary corner will play a man technique, but it's still a zone coverage.
Bears have been good on 3rd downs in preseason, better than 55%, and good on 3rd and 10 or more. They pick up the blitz, and a flag on the play. They stopped it. False start against the Bears. And that's something that is typical of what goes on
Number
in this
17
stadium.
offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's the rookie Michael Ola called for the false start. Bring up a 3rd and 15 for the Bears.
Well, it's so tough, as you mentioned, Sam, because when you have a false start, now you can't stay on schedule. Now the Bears find themselves in 3rd and long, not where you want to be in this stadium.
It's 3rd and 15. With 3 wide receivers in. Everybody out. Cutler gets time. Goes deep. He's got Alshon Jeffrey, and it's broken up. Byron Maxwell at the last minute caught up to Alshon Jeffrey.
Great play design. When you look at that, you look at the lurk coverage, the backside safety comes down. That's a great read by Jay Cutler to go to the post. It ends up being a cover 3, like I said, as they lurk the safety down to hunt the shallow cross coming across. Right there you see the tight end dragging across. Jay launches it to go deep. Alshon, you got to squeeze that. He's got to come up with that play, Sam. He's got to make that catch against a world championship team. That will silence this stadium in a heartbeat.
Bears forced to punt. Patrick O'Donnell, now the only punter on the roster, as Tressway was released. Good end-over-end kick. And O'Donnell, who put 2 inside the 20 last week, puts his first one inside the 20 down to the 11-yard line. Alshon Jeffrey had a chance for a big grab here. Byron Maxwell got his hand in and knocked it away.
Teams coordinated care. At North Shore University Health System, excellence is always part of the game plan.
Seahawks start from the 11-yard line. The Bears offense talking things over after some good things getting into Seahawks territory, but then the drive stalling. Now the defense has to come up with a good series. Pressure on Russell Wilson. Got rid of it to Robert Turbin, the second-string running back. As Marshawn Lynch has seen some good action, he's gone to the bench. Lamar Houston on the tackle, a gain of 4 on the play. Robert Turbin is a third-year man out of Utah State. Mel Tucker down on the field calling the defensive signals from the sideline.
And Turbin's no slouch either. I think when you look at Kristen Michael, too, the third back on the Seahawks roster, they're all good, Sam. They don't match up against Marshawn Lynch and his power, but they're certainly fine running back. Still a good test to test the Bears' run defense.
Off the play fake, Russell Wilson with a deep drop. Being chased, gets rid of it, and connects with Doug Baldwin. And Baldwin, first down at the 31-yard line. Stay connected to the Bears on NFL Mobile, exclusively from Verizon, the official wireless provider of the Chicago Bears. Airtime, message, and data rates may apply. Boy, Wilson is solid. 4 for 4 to start the game, connecting with 4 different receivers.
And they're expanding their package around the young quarterback who's already a Super Bowl champion.
26 touchdown passes in each of his first 2 years. Robert Turbin with a carry. Picks up 5 on the play up to the 36-yard line. DJ Williams, the Bears middle linebacker, with the stop. Williams certainly in a battle with young Jonathan Bostic, who'd like to get more playing time and take over as the starting middle linebacker. But Williams a key man as far as run defense is concerned.
He comes with a ton of tackles. Unfortunately, he gets hurt early in the season last year. That thrust John Bostic into the lineup. But if they have a healthy DJ Williams, he will shore up the linebacking corps.
Turbin brought down. Nice tackle by Lance Briggs. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play up to the 36.
Well, I mentioned the growing package of Seattle. Last week alone, Sam, they ran 2-back, 1-back, pistol, spread option, boot, play action, no huddle. That's the expanding package. They're doing a lot of no huddle and really calling plays at the line of scrimmage. Very tough to defend, and Mel Tucker talked about it. There needs to be a ton of communication on defense by the Chicago Bears players.
From the 37, 3rd and 4, Wilson out of the shotgun, 5 defensive backs. Bears showing blitz. And jumping across too soon. On the play was Jeremiah Ratliff. He was waiting, and they got him to jump. And that'll be a first down for the Seahawks.
Can't have those penalties. It's an easy first down, and that's your snap count, your cadence is a weapon.
Number 97 defense, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Bill Levy, our referee tonight. The ball up to the 42-yard line. And the man you mentioned, go ahead.
Right here, you see him right there when you look at Ratliff. Looked like he and both Willie Young. Willie Young over here, he got caught too. Lamar.
Kristen Michael, number 33, the man you mentioned, is in at running back. Wilson being chased, gets away and gets rid of it and connects with Curse for a first down. First down at the 42-yard line of the Bears.
And that's one thing, if you let Russell Wilson get out of the pocket, this is where he can kill you. It's got to be a level, even-handed rush. And here he feels the front side pressure. Already starts, he's got that sixth sense about him and always seems to find the open guy. But if you have a level-handed rush or an even rush on both sides, that'll keep Russell Wilson in the pocket. Watch for a shot play right here. This is what Seattle is known for. They may go for the gusto right here with a big one.
Kristen Michael, the running back, splits out to the left. Empty backfield for the Seahawks. Pressure from Willie Young. Young's got him for the sack. Big play by Willie Young. This is a man that Mel Tucker told us last night. You want to see something from Willie Young. He was brought in to provide pass rush, and he comes up with a sack.
He provides good pressure from the outside. Look right there. He beats Russell Okung with the quick move. And it's not only going to be at the right defensive end spot, it's going to be on both sides. And then on third downs, he may kick in the defensive tackle. This is a big night for Willie Young to show what he's capable of doing for the Bears.
Russell Okung in his first preseason action for the Seahawks. The ball back to the Seattle 49. Wilson being chased again. And this time he is brought down and a flag on the play. Bostic with a hit, but Lance Briggs with a late hit after the slide.
Now that right there is what you're talking about. That was a good level pass rush and great coverage down the field. But this is what Russell does. For all the young quarterbacks, this is what he's smart about doing, when to get down. And you look at Lance Briggs, this gives him a shot, and they're going to call that every time now with how they're protecting him. If you start sliding feet first as a quarterback, they're going to make that call every time. Yeah. Ends up being an easy first down.
You've got to find a way to avoid that hit. Trevor Scott has come in at defensive end for the Bears, number 76, replacing Lamar Houston. Third penalty on the Bears, and a couple of them now have given the Seahawks first downs, and that one is a 15-yarder down to the 32 of the Bears. Danny McCray and Ryan Mundy are the safeties. Wilson being rushed, throws, wide open, Jermaine Kearse. First down at the 14-yard line. Danny McCray on the tackle, but Kearse has been wide open 3 times already in this first quarter.
It ends up being a 3-by-1 set. It's just an all-go. What do we say on first down? They're going to take a shot. That's exactly what happened right there.
The Seahawks are at the Lexus 1st and 10 line. At the 14, ninth play of the drive. Michael was slowed down by Lance Briggs, but he didn't get enough of him. And Michael is out of bounds, close to the 5-yard line. They'll spot it at the 7. And a gain of 8 on the play.
And they bring the safety down to that side again. A couple of missed tackles. See the safety, Ryan Mundy. He's supposed to be leverage on the outside. Got to force it back in. Lance had a shot at it. And again, Mel Tucker talked about need to see tackling tonight against a zone blocking team like Seattle.
Seahawks' first team offense looked great last week, as we mentioned, and they have started this game really sharp. On second down, Wilson throws too high. Intended for Jermaine Kearse.
I believe it got tipped at the line of scrimmage, and that may have been Ego Ferguson that tipped it. And so you saw Ego. We talked about him in the opener. He's getting in with the first team, working a little bit. They want to see his pass rushing skills. Way to get his hands up.
Big number 95. Got a little of it.
If he doesn't do that, that could be a touchdown right there.
3rd and 2. Christian Michael. He's got a first down. Ryan Mundy in on the tackle down at the 3-yard line. But the Seahawks able to keep the drive going. Christian Michael, second-year man out of Texas A&M, second-round draft pick last year. He's fumbled each of the first 2 games, but Pete Carroll this week said he's the most improved player on the team.
He really is. He is. Not only can he run between the tackles, he's got the juice and the speed when he gets to the outside. Tough physical runner, and just has some fumble issues.
There he goes again. This time the Bears stop him. Stephen Paya knifes through and makes the tackle on Christian Michael. Good play by Paya up front.
Works down the line of scrimmage and allows his linebackers to come in and clean it up. And that's what Paya, if he can stay healthy, that was a big key. He's been dealing with some injuries over the past couple years, and they finally got Jay Ratliff healthy. He participated towards the end of December. And they need this group up front to stay clean all year long.
Empty backfield on 2nd and goal. Wilson throws, knocked away. Ryan Mundy with a good play as he covered the tight end Luke Wilson. Bring up a 3rd and goal for the Seahawks.
Good play by Houston. He provides the pass rush to get Russell to get the ball out of his hands. And give credit to Mundy. That's a tight end. Those are the mismatches we're talking about. So he defends the bigger player to negate the touchdown throw.
This drive has lasted 7 minutes. 14th play coming up. It started at the Seattle 11-yard line. Ball 2.5 yards away from the Bears goal line. And movement by Russell Okung. False start. And will set the Seahawks back.
Number 76, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, we'll see if it's the same set offensively. It's a slot formation by Seattle, and you saw Peanut Tillman. It's what we call corners over. They go over to play the 2 receiver sides, so that tells you right away it's man coverage when you see both corners out there against the slot set.
Ball spotted just short of the 7-yard line. 3rd and goal for the Seahawks. 5 defensive backs in for the Bears. Kelvin Hayden on the outside. Wilson being pressured. Takes off. Heads for the goal line. He's in.
The kid just has a knack. Lance Briggs almost got there to make the play, but it's a 3-by-1 set. You've only got one receiver to that side who ran an in cut. So everybody's clearing out. It's basically clearing out the weak side of that particular play, and Lance just couldn't get there to make the tackle and prevent Russell from crossing the end zone. But he's a 4.5 runner.
He's a great athlete.
Great athlete, had good combine numbers, and he can scramble and scoot now.
Stephen Huska for the extra point. And Seattle has had the ball twice and marched for touchdown 4 times. It's 14-0. Russell Wilson looked to the end zone, nobody open, and there he goes. What a weapon. And the champion Seahawks have a 2-touchdown lead.
The Chicago Bears are presented by Chase, the official bank of the Bears since 1934. Chase, so you can.
The Seahawks, first 2 possessions, 2 long touchdown drives, 61 yards and 89 yards. Darius Reynaud, just signed this week, is the return man for the Bears, number 46. Bears fans may remember him with the Vikings. He's also been with the Giants, the Titans, and the Jets. Hauschka's kick. Reynaud from 4 yards deep. Hit at the 15 and gets up close to the 18-yard line. Now it's up to the Bears offense to get things going and get on the board. There's the Ford scoring drive summary. 14 plays, 89 yards, 7 minutes, 17 seconds. A drive that started at the 11-yard line. Russell Wilson, 7-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks with a 14-0 lead. 3 wide receivers for the Bears. Marshall, Jeffrey, and Josh Morgan. Morgan to the near side. Bears start from the 17. Matt Forte, the running back. Cutler checking off. A little pump fake and complete to Josh Morgan. And he bumps with Richard Sherman. And a pickup of 17. Morgan, who's got good experience and is a physical receiver.
And already you see Jay Cutler working the rapport. That's a back shoulder there. Heath Farwell buzz coverage that where he buzzes to the sideline, and to drop it like that in over the linebacker, and for already Josh Morgan to see that, you can already see the rapport between Josh Morgan and Jay Cutler.
All three receivers to the left. Martellus Bennett, tight end to the right side. Quick outside to Alshon Jeffrey. Byron Maxwell wraps him up. Good job by Jeffrey. With the run after the catch up to the 43-yard line. Offense has moved the ball. They stalled the first possession, had a big penalty on 3rd and 10. And then the play that was broken up near the goal line on a good pass from Cutler to Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, this is a great duo when you look at Marshall and Jeffrey. They were the second leading duo in the National Football League, over 2,700 yards. And certainly the only reason why I say, hey, when you look at Alshon Jeffrey, he needs to make that play on the post because he's too good not to. He's too good not to. He expects to make that play. The Bears expect him to make that play.
We've come to the end of the first quarter. And a good start for the champion Seattle Seahawks. Bears trying to get something going, down 2 touchdowns.
Bears preseason football is brought to you by Verizon and sponsored by Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Cadillac dealers, Gatorade, Advocate Healthcare, and McDonald's of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana.
First play of the second quarter, 2 tight ends in. Forte carrying, gets a yard on the play. Very close to the first down. Bears fans have made the trip out to Seattle. All right, here you go. Always good to see the Bears fans at the game.
They travel well, there's no doubt about that. I think Bears and Pittsburgh Steelers fans, 2 best in the National Football League in terms of how they travel. We'll see if Matt Forte got enough to get this first down.
Bill Levy wants to measure. This will be close. And enough.
Good effort by Forte. Well, single safety. They had everybody up in the box and enough juice to get the first down. Good hard running by Matt Forte.
A big chance for Matthew Mulligan, number 85, the second tight end, who really showed well. He's known as a real good blocker, but he caught the ball well against Jacksonville last week.
Yeah, and Lou Canella said it in the opener. I mean, he has shocked the Bears coaching staff with his speed. Mark Trestman told us last night, yeah, it's a big loss losing Zach Miller to Liz Frank, but Mulligan's been a pleasant surprise in the passing game.
Cutler steps up as the crowd gets real loud. Make sure everybody knows the signal. On first down, off the play fake. Cutler gets plenty of time to pass. Almost intercepted. Jeremy Lane had it in his hands, but it dropped out when he hit the ground. The pass intended for Brandon Marshall.
Dangerous throw. When you look at here, they're faking, obviously, the spread, shotgun draw. And it's Marshall. Yeah, that's right. I mean, he at least bats it away. When you look at the play right there from Jeremy Lane, who's, again, he's a lengthy corner and could have had the interception.
2nd and 10. Toss to Forte. Took it outside. Took a couple of hits. Gets up to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play. Jay Cutler stepping up. Everyone talking about his leadership efforts in preseason and in training camp and the maturity that he's shown, Tim.
Yeah, well, you look at that play that almost got intercepted. That's the only ball that's been in harm's way all preseason. So he's been very good with his eyes. It's a good test for him tonight to go against the secondary, but I think Jay has looked outstanding all through training camp and preseason.
3rd and 6. Cutler steps up, and a diving effort is incomplete. Good try by Brandon Marshall.
I'd like to put the ball on him. Good effort by Marshall to stretch out on the play, but when you step up in the pocket as a quarterback like that, that's exactly what happened with Jay Cutler there. Set your feet real quick again. Don't panic, just set your feet. That's how you're going to be a balanced passer in the National Football League, and Jay at that time didn't set his feet again to deliver an accurate throw.
So once again, the Bears give it up. And the punt by O'Donnell to Earl Thomas. And Thomas, the starting safety, looking to take over as the return man on the short return. Getting together after stalling. And the Seahawks will start from the 17-yard line for the Bears. Defensively, Chris Conte, who underwent shoulder surgery in the offseason, started the preseason on the physically unable to perform list, but now ready to go, seeing his first action, and he's got a battle on his hands to win back his position.
There's no doubt this is a big night for Chris Conte. Over a 3-year starter, he's got 230 tackles in 40 games, 6 interceptions, and for him, he lost a lot of confidence, self-admittedly, last year, and he's looking to prove a lot of people wrong.
Robert Turbin carrying, Stephen Paya with the tackle, short gain on the play. Now let's go down to the sideline to Lou Canellis for your North Shore University sideline report. You've got it, Lou.
Sam, in the pregame show, we talked about Jared Allen not playing in this game because of the bone bruise, but I'll tell you what, he's been coaching on the sidelines. We met with him last night. We thought he was going to play. He told us, listen, when you play against Russell Wilson, you cannot rush scared. You have to rush as a unit. You have to put pressure on him. He's been telling Willie Young, Jeremiah Ratliff, all the defensive linemen that every single time they come back to the bench.
Turbin with a good run, but a good hit. Conte came in on the play. DJ Williams was there. And Ryan Mundy, the safety, leading the way. Bears with good coverage, but a good run by Robert Turbin. There's Jared Allen, who you just feel the energy. He wants to be in there playing, but certainly the coaches want to be very careful with him.
Well, you look at him. This is the most of any OTAs of any team that he participated in, because the Bears have invested in him, and he wants to invest in the Bears. Big team participant this whole offseason.
Once again, the Seahawks pick up the third down. Good run by Turbin. Tackled by Willie Young. First down, Seattle. Join Lou Canellis, Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer for Bears Game Day Live. Brought to you by Advocate Healthcare every Sunday morning during the season at 10:30 a.m. on Fox 32. Seahawks at the 30-yard line, their third possession of the game. 61-yard touchdown drive, then 89-yard touchdown drive. Off the play fake, Wilson got away and gets it off, and a completion of Percy Harvin into Bears territory at the 46-yard line, a gain of 23. Lance Briggs with a stop, but once again, Wilson so elusive.
Well, they run the ball so well. Single safety by the Bears. It's hard play action. Look at right there. Paya almost swats the ball, and that's tough. At least Tim Jennings, he's got to respect the speed of Percy Harvin. That's why he gets open, working back to the quarterback on the curl route. But Tim Jennings can't just assume he's going to break it off. He's assuming Percy Harvin's going deep.
Russell Wilson 7 for 9 thus far in the game. The two rookie tackles, Ego Ferguson, number 95, Will Sutton, number 93, are in for the Bears. And a timeout is called by the Seahawks. The Seahawks have moved the ball well offensively. Pete Carroll's team with a 2-touchdown lead.
Score Miller Lite Bears gear. Get details by visiting your local retail store for specially marked 12-packs from August 15th through September 30th.
Back in Seattle, the Seahawks have put up 172 yards of total offense thus far. And we are 4.5 minutes into the second quarter. Russell Wilson on first down at the Bears 46. Pressure from Houston, the shovel pass to Christian Michael, Michael hit hard by Ego Ferguson down at the 39, make it the 38-yard line, a gain of 8 on the play.
And why do you have to dump it off? Because it really is good coverage at all levels, and that's what Mel Tucker, again, talked about last night, about the 3 levels of combination routes. There's one guy going deep, one guy intermediate, one guy in the flat, and that just happens to be the running back right there that Russell Wilson dumps it off to.
Jeremiah Ratliff back in for Will Sutton on 2nd and 2. Wilson, Percy Harvin. They want to get him in space. He is so quick and can turn little plays into big plays. A first down for the Seahawks at the Bears 26, a gain of 13.
It's so efficient. It's actually a slide naked where the inside receiver slides all the way back across the formation, and it's a misdirection play. It's tough, especially when you got speed and explosiveness of Percy Harvin. Very well designed, and they're just efficient. Last 2 weeks, this Seahawk offense has been very efficient in their preseason games.
Preston Michael cuts it back, and a good run inside the 20, close to the 16-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play. Big chunks by the Seahawks. You can send a question about the Bears to us here in the booth through Twitter using the hashtag CBNetwork. We might answer it on the air later on in the game. Ball just inside the 17. Another big drive by the Seahawks. Coleman, number 40, in at fullback. Preston Michael cuts it back. He's looked good in his chance at running back as they look for a backup to Marshawn Lynch. A gain of 5. Willie Young on the tackle. Anything you see from the Bears defense, Jim?
You know, you would like to think they're playing a lot of man coverage, single safety down. So for me, I want to see the defensive ends have more contain and close it down. Defensive tackles, to me, are doing a fine job with penetration.
The Seahawks are in the Sports Authority red zone. With the 9th play of the drive, a first down at the 12. It's Preston Michael looking for an opening. Willie Young dropped him.
See, and I just said that, and there's Willie Young stepping up, forcing it back inside. That's a nice play by Willie Young on the backside. He's got to set the leverage on the play. He did exactly that on that particular play. Force it back into the defensive tackles and linebackers. They're all there. Great play.
Ryan Mundy, shaken up, has gone to the sideline, and Danny McCray is back in at safety. So McCray and Conti are the safeties. Robert Turbin back in at running back for the Seahawks on 2nd and 10. Russell Wilson gets time to the end zone. And it's incomplete. The hit by Conti on the tight end Luke Wilson broke up the play.
And that's got to feel good for Chris Conti right there. 2 tight end set, comes in at the right time to break up the middle reads. Just a straight cover 2. It's a red zone 2. So you see the safety separated. That's why Russell Wilson's going down the middle. Perfect timing by Conti. And when he tests his shoulder, it held up, and he breaks up a big play. That's how you gain confidence. That's got to feel good for Chris Conti.
Seahawks 5 for 5 on third downs, but this is their longest third down situation. 3rd and 10. Bears 5 defensive backs. The pass is caught for a touchdown. Jermaine Kearse.
I mentioned the efficiency. That is just a timing throw. Very rarely do you see a skinny post that close down in the red zone, especially on Peanut Tillman, but it's the timing and the ball placement. It really wasn't bad coverage by Peanut Tillman. Just this offense is performing at a great level right now in terms of efficiency.
Wow. They are sharp. Russell Wilson is sharp, and when he gets time like that, just waited for a little opening, and he found it.
Well, you had the safety high. If he waits any longer, the safety's blowing it up.
Hauschka's extra point is good. And the Seahawks have had the ball 3 times, and they've had 3 long touchdown drives. This one, Russell Wilson finishes it off 12 yards to Jermaine Kearse. The coach loves it. There's smiles in Seattle because their team looks like they're in mid-season or postseason form. I mean, the Seahawks look really, really good. 83-yard scoring drive, a four-scoring drive summary, 11 plays, 83 yards. They've had touchdown drives of 61, 89, and 83 yards. Michael Spurlock for his second return. And he takes a knee. No return. Something he didn't like there because usually they want him to bring it back. Today's football lessons are brought to you by the University of Phoenix. Professor Miller, you've got the floor.
Well, this is a clinic in timing. I thought the Bears were in 2 and they rotated to 3. Look at the timing of Russell Wilson. It's 1, 2, 3 on a skinny post like that. Look at his feet. 1, 2, 3. Pull the trigger. Look at the coverage by Tillman. He had his right hand there, so it's just the timing of the play and a great read by Russell Wilson. Kind of threw me off because I thought initially the Bears were in a cover 2, end up rotating the safety up. What a great read for a quarterback to do. It tells you that his eyes are upfield reading the defense.
Tony Fiametta in at fullback, Kadeem Carey in at running back. 2 tight ends for the Bears who start from the 20. Martellus Bennett left and Matthew Mulligan right. Here's Kadeem Carey. Finds a little bit of an opening and gets 3 on the play. Let's go down to Lou Canellis on the sideline for your North Shore University sideline report. Here's Lou.
Sam, Ryan Mundy has gone to the locker room. He had blood all over his jersey. He has suffered a laceration to his head. His return is questionable.
Thanks for the update, Lou. And certainly that's a concern because Ryan Mundy has had a good preseason. Santonio Holmes makes his Bears debut wearing number 14. He is out to the right side. The former Super Bowl MVP, former Pittsburgh Steeler and New York Jet. He's had injuries the last 2 seasons. On the draw play, Kadeem Carey gets a yard, maybe 2 up to the 25. And it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Bears. There is Santonio Holmes.
He's an explosive player. You go back and he's had explosive seasons. Only one really over 1,000 yards but he has the propensity to make the big play. And you listen to Mark Trestman. He was strong, explosive all week. Caught the ball extremely well. Stayed after with Jay Cutler. Says there will be no issues, and it's really a low-risk, high-reward signing for the Chicago Bears.
3 wide receivers left. Cutler gets time. Alshon Jeffrey, first down. The ball came out on the tackle. I thought he was down. And let's see what the officials rule. And they rule a fumble. They rule fumble, and the Seahawks recover.
And this is really a strength of Brandon Marshall. It's really his hands. He's known as being a strong, he works in the rice bucket to increase his forearm strength. And you got to believe you would think he's down on that play. Let's see if they review it.
Yeah,
right
it will
here.
be reviewed. Change of possession always reviewed, and I think when they look at that, you'll see the knee down. Referee Bill Levy heading for.
But finishing plays, I think the Bears have been their own worst enemy tonight. The long post route, obviously this particular play, let's be honest, the Seattle Seahawks led the league in turnovers a year ago.
All right, they will look at the replay. Bill Levy, the referee, will check it out, and we'll be back in a moment. Bears offense have stayed on the field. They believe that the ruling will be overturned. Here comes Bill Levy with the decision.
After reviewing the play, the receiver's knee was down when the ball came loose. It'll be first down for Chicago at the 33.5-yard line.
All right, so the Bears maintain possession. The home crowd doesn't like it, naturally.
Well, again, I just think going into this game, here's a team that led the league in turnover margin that I said before the break in Seattle. They're going to be swiping at the football. And twice tonight, Alshon Jeffrey, as I mentioned, he's so strong physically. He's got those big mitts, just has to hold on to that, expecting that they're going to swipe at him.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers in for the Bears. And they split the tight ends. Off the fake, Cutler in trouble, and he's sacked. Brought down by O'Brien Schofield. O'Brien Schofield, what a story he is. He played for Seattle last season. In the offseason, he signed a free agent contract with the Giants, but failed their physical. Now he's back with Seattle.
Yeah, it really is amazing, and Pete Carroll loves him, but it's really the 2 count. It's the tight end Mulligan. He's got to hold it for 2 counts. It's going to be a bootleg naked pretty much out of shotgun, and Mulligan's got to hold that block up for Jay Cutler.
Loss of 12 on the play. Back to the 22. It's second down. The rush on. Screen pass to Kadeem Carey. Weaves his way through traffic. Gets up to the 35-yard line. Gain of 13. Get into the good times. Good Day Chicago. Weekday mornings on Fox 32 Chicago. It was a good pickup on the screen pass by Kadeem Carey.
He's good in the open field when you look at what he's done in his college career. 42 touchdowns, leading rusher past couple years. Guy's outstanding. Mark Trestman has said he's picked it up in the third down pass protection, so see if he's got a stonewall somebody in this particular third and long.
3rd and 9. Santonio Holmes to the left. 3 wide receivers in. Pressure on Cutler. He got away from one, but not the other. They've got quickness, and they can get to the quarterback. The Seahawks take down Jay Cutler. Cassius Marsh, rookie out of UCLA, 4th-round draft pick, with a sack.
Yeah, and he plays with his hair on fire. That's the story on Cassius Marsh, and obviously that's really the first time I've seen Jay Cutler really pressured all night long. There's been good pass protection up until that particular play.
Once again, Patrick O'Donnell to kick it away. Earl Thomas is back. Takes it at the 25. And a good return is on. He tries to get by the punter, and he is brought down. Touchdown saving tackle by Patrick O'Donnell. But a great return by the veteran Earl Thomas.
2-time All-Pro, as I mentioned, and Pete Carroll has no qualms putting his star players on special teams. Here's one of the, if not the best safety in all of football. But hey, you give Pat O'Donnell a lot of credit. I know everybody can say this about a punter, but he's a very good athlete to hunt him down to make the touchdown saving tackle.
44-yard punt, 60 yards on the return. And the Seahawks have the ball at the Bears' 16-yard line. And special teams for the Bears has been a problem in preseason. And that time the coverage let them down. Justin Michael is the running back. 2 tight ends in. Off the play fake, Wilson out to the tight end. And a good tackle by Chris Conti. Cooper Helfett, the tight end number 48, with a reception, a gain of 8 on the play. Watch Bears on Demand exclusively from Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Check out the Bears Zone for all of the Inside the Bears shows. Ball down close to the 8-yard line. Chris Conti with a couple of plays. He's been noticeable.
He obviously feels confident that his shoulder is completely healed. That's twice he's thrown his shoulder in there to make the tackle.
Adrian Wilson, number 44, also in at safety for the Bears. On 2nd and 2, Michael going down close to the first down marker. Shea McClellan in on the tackle. Shea McClellan, the coaches keep talking about him making steady improvement at linebacker, learning the position, still learning, still grasping it.
Yeah, he had 4 tackles last week versus Jacksonville, 1 tackles for loss. And that's what Mel Tucker said, that he slowly is starting to gain confidence and settle in at the backer spot.
We're at the 2-minute warning. The Seattle Seahawks, the champions of the NFL, dominating 21-0. Bears down 21-0. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Coming up on the Chase Halftime Report, local news, then a great interview. Luke Canella sat down with Bears quarterback Jay Cutler. Terrific interview. You want to stay tuned for that. And we'll have first half stats and highlights. Stay with us for the Chase halftime report.
Well, Bears need something positive here. Need to get a stop, force a field goal, something to go on before the half.
On 3rd and 1, Russell Wilson's pass to Christian Michael. Touchdown, Seattle. A fake to Michael, and Michael wide open. And Seattle has had the ball 4 times and scored touchdowns 4 times. That time they capitalized after the great punt return.
Yeah, it was basically they're almost showing the slide naked to the other side, and that's how Christian Michael is able to slip out. You'd like to think, the end's going to at least try and, bluff him or get in his way a little bit, but it's really the design of the play, and Seattle runs so many bootleg nakeds, and Bears are over pursuing a little bit.
28-0, Seattle. Right now, they look to be in mid-season form. Everything clicking. Russell Wilson directing the offense perfectly, and they've got all things going. We saw Marshawn Lynch running well in the first quarter, and then the punt return by Earl Thomas leading to a 16-yard 3-play drive. That's the Ford scoring drive summary. And Coach Pete Carroll, they didn't play a good game their opening preseason game in Denver, the rematch, the Super Bowl rematch. But after that, he got everybody focused.
Well, do you know in 5 years that's the only preseason game they've lost?
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
I mean, Denver had a little payback. There's no doubt about that. But, fundamentally it's just how they've built this team. And you see it. They don't really do much offensively, but you have to defend every area of the field because we talked about the 3 levels. The inside-outside zone run game really frees up Russell Wilson and his ability to bootleg, and they do it to both sides of the field. So very tough to defend, and they are just very efficient. That's what they've done tonight.
The Bears in search of a return man to have Sonoris Perry back deep. Earlier was Spurlock, Darius Renaud. There's Perry from 6 yards deep. Straight ahead, across the 20 up to the 22-yard line. Let's go down to Lou Canellis with the North Shore University sideline report. Lou.
All right, Sam, another injury update. Tony Fiametta, fullback, ends up leaving the game with a right hamstring injury. He's done for the night, and they're getting ready to fly their Seahawk around the stadium here. He draws quite a crowd here on the sidelines.
Look at Lou looking at that
keep
Seahawk.
away from me.
There's your pet, Lou. Thanks for that report and the update. And we have an injured player on the field.
I thought it was 45. I thought it was Brock Coyle.
Brock Coyle, the middle linebacker, the rookie who is, it is him. He has stepped up with several players injured. Malcolm Smith, the MVP of the Super Bowl, is just getting ready to come back. Corey Toomer, another linebacker, has been out with an injury. Coyle has had a chance. The rookie out of Montana has stepped up and done a terrific job. Now for the Bears, what are you seeing here?
Well, you're trying to go in with some positive momentum. I mean, minimum, you got plenty of time to take it down and score, and that's what the Bears got to be thinking right now. I mean, not too many good things have happened, and it also, we mentioned this injury as Coyle starts to walk off the field right there. What does that say when the Super Bowl MVP of the Falcons or of the Seattle Seahawks is not even a starter?
Right.
I mean, the depth that they have is crazy when you look at Seattle. So I think for the Bears, they've been their worst enemy on offense. They need to make a big play and do some good things to get that good feeling going into the locker room at halftime.
The first 2 possessions, they moved the ball, but then
the plays are there.
They stalled.
Yeah, the plays are there. The plays just have to be made by the players, and Lou will talk to Jay Cutler here at halftime. It's a great interview, and we'll see if Jay Cutler can get something going here in this 2-minute drive.
3 wide receivers in. Martellus Bennett is the tight end. Sean Drone, the linebacker. This is out to Brandon Marshall, and he stopped maybe a yard pickup on the play. Jeremy Lane, a third-year man out of Northwestern State in Louisiana, made the stop. And this has got to be a frustrating first half for Jay Cutler. as the offense has not been able to sustain the drives. Ball up at the 23. Cutler drops back, gets time, and completes it to Alshon Jeffrey up to the 38-yard line. Pick up a 14, a first down, and the Bears use a timeout. Their first timeout. A little over a minute to go in the first half.
Good read by Jay Cutler there, and missed his curl route earlier in the day, was a little bit off in the time. That's how you set your feet and throw on balance. Good accurate throw to Jeffrey. Bam, right at the face mask. Receiver's going to catch it every time when that ball's right in their eyes.
Catch the Bears Coaches Show, brought to you by McDonald's, Monday nights at 6:30 p.m. all season on WBBM News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM. For the most part, Jay Cutler has had good protection, though he was sacked twice on the last possession, which
it's outstanding.
is different for preseason.
These receivers have challenged the Seattle Seahawks secondary players, I think, extremely well. The plays are there to be made by Chicago.
Josh Morgan out to the right side. He's the third wide receiver. Blitz coming. It's picked up by Drowan. Butler gets away, looks, dumps it off to Josh Morgan. And Morgan into Seahawks territory, knocked out of bounds at the 39-yard line. A gain of 23. Good job by Cutler. Good job by Sean Drowan picking up the blitz.
Good feel in the pocket by Jay. They know it's a passing situation. Seattle's kind of cranking it up right now. Jay's able to escape, and good job, John, the defender, to dump it off to the open wide receiver.
So now the Bears into Seahawks territory for the second time. So empty backfield. Three wide receivers. Martellus Bennett splits out. Here they come, and the play was stopped.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Should not happen. Should not happen. In a hurry-up offense situation, and Jay's got to get it going. I think he knows that. He's probably a little upset at himself right now. Don't know if the play got in late. The two veterans, these are 11 starters that were on this offense a year ago. That should not happen for the Bears.
Second pre-snap penalty on the Bears. Sets them back, 1st and 15 at the 44. Cutler gets time. Wide open is Brandon Marshall. Cut it in, picked up a couple of yards, and then gets out of bounds at the 24-yard line. A gain of 20 on the play.
Great route. Great route by Brandon Marshall right there. Snapping it off to the sideline. And that Richard Sherman, he's one of the best in the business. And Brandon Marshall made that look easy. Like I said, they've been challenging this secondary of Seattle all night. The plays are there to be made. Look at that. Nice route. Good double move.
Cutler 11 for 18 here in the first half. Everybody out. Cutler throws for Martellus Bennett, and he's able to hang on. Great catch, and the signal is a touchdown. What a grab by Martellus Bennett. I thought I saw the official put the arms up for a touchdown. And there's some confusion as to where they're going to spot it here.
They did call it a touchdown. Great throw by Jay on that particular play.
Yeah, the Bears are out to attempt an extra point. Seahawks look confused. They don't think it was a touchdown. And I think Bill Levy's going to go under the hood to check it out.
All scores are going to be reviewed, and that one's no different. But look, it's a little wheel route by Martellus Bennett. It's good getting him involved in this, and it tells you how, for as big as a tight end as he is, to get down the field. Wheel route on the linebacker, that's a mismatch. And the only question would be, did his shirt go out of bounds? Did his back go out of bounds prior to crossing the pylon right there would be the question. What a great throw by Cutler.
And right there, he's down.
Yep. It's touched by the defender.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be on the 1-inch line, half a yard line right there.
Right there, inside the 1. 40 seconds remaining in the first half. A great grab by Martellus Bennett. And another good throw by Jay Cutler. So as referee Bill Levy checks things out, there's some key dates around the NFL. First cut down coming on Tuesday. Teams are up at 90 players. They'll go down to 75. And then after the final preseason game, August 30th, the roster cut to 53. And then the teams can establish a 10-player on August 31st. A 10-player now. That's been expanded. Practice squad.
I love that. That's 64 new jobs for players around the National Football League, and teams need it. You need young players to develop by adding 2 more spots per team around the National Football League. That's big, but that Tuesday date that you're talking about, this is a big night for a lot of guys right now. Big night.
And one thing Coach Mark Trestman talked to us about, saying he reminds his players, you're not only competing for jobs here amongst the players here, but against other players around the league.
The receiver was down inbounds at the half-yard line.
There it is.
We normally would run 10 seconds, but Chicago has elected to take a timeout.
You bring up a good
First and
point.
goal at the half-yard line.
Because it probably Mark Trestman and the Bears, much like the other teams around the National Football League, they don't want to build their team like Seattle with other players' roster. They had over 230 moves in the first 2 years alone by Pete Carroll. They want the guys that they bring in to be the talented players to make their team.
Bears used a timeout. They have the ball first and goal inside the 1. Dante Rosario is in, number 88, as a second tight end. He's to the right side. Actually lined up in the backfield. Drawn short of the line of scrimmage. He was upended, cut down. And the Bears use the timeout. Ball spotted at the 2-yard line. It'll be second and goal, 35 seconds remaining.
Almost looks like Slauson right there is pulling. It's a power play. He gets tripped up by his own left guard. Pulling on the play. It's going to be a strong side power play, and Slauson gets caught up, and he trips up on his own offensive lineman's legs.
That's when you know things aren't going right for you.
Well,
when you're tripped up by your own guy.
He saw the hole, and he was going to attack it, and that's what's, if you don't get that push down there and you've got offensive linemen pulling, that's the issue when you've got old linemen pulling down in the red zone area.
Kadeem Carey in at running back. Rosario lines up as the fullback in the backfield. Alshon Jeffrey in motion with Brandon Marshall to the right as well. Off the fake. Cutler. Touchdown, Dante Rosario. There's a flag down in the end zone. So Rosario lined up in the backfield, was open in the end zone. And you can hear the cheers of the crowd. It's against the Bears. And there have been some penalties that have hurt in this first half.
Well, I think when you look at the score, 28-0, and you think it's just that Seattle is that dominant, it really is not the case. A lot of these issues with the Bears that have, allowed that score to happen, they're self-induced, like what we just witnessed right there with the penalty.
Offensive pass interference, that's been a point of emphasis for the officials in preseason. Bears set back 10 yards to the 12-yard line.
Marshall coming off. That's not even 5 yards. So I would question that call, which a lot of coaches have around the National Football League.
Kadeem Carey, the running back. Everybody out. Cutler's pass intercepted. It's Jeremy Lane again. Weaving his way, picking up blocks, and finally taken down by Josh Morgan with 15 seconds to go in the half. First interception on Jay Cutler in preseason.
And an ill-advised pass that probably, again, he's made probably 2 bad decisions tonight where he's forced the football a little bit. And again, just throw it away. I mean, minimum, like I said, you want to go in feeling good about yourself. A field goal, something. Can't just throw it up for grabs. Clearly covered, double covered there. Cannot happen as the corner sloughs off when you look at Lane.
Seahawks were one of the best teams defending the red zone last year. And here the Bears got down within half a yard of the goal line. And then a loss on a run, the penalty, and then the interception. Jeremy Lane coming up with the interception. Your connection to Chicago every night, Fox 32, News at 9. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have news from the studio and then a great interview, Lou Canellis with Jay Cutler. You want to stay tuned for that. Jim and I will have highlights and stats, and of course, in the second half, we'll be looking at the backup quarterback, the race for backup quarterback, the battle, if you will. We'll see Jordan Palmer start the third quarter and probably starting the fourth quarter, Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah, it's a big spot in the second half for those 2 backup quarterbacks. Clausen needs to get after it, in my opinion, because Jordan Palmer had a big game last week versus Jacksonville.
So a nice couple there, and young lady saying, "Don't worry, it'll be all right." There's Russell Wilson taking off, picking up some blocks and running out of bounds in Bears territory at the 48-yard line with 6 seconds to go in the first half. 9-yard pickup for Russell Wilson. Seattle Seahawks have looked outstanding in this first half.
Well, they have, but from the Bears' perspective, this is, as a team, this is what you cannot allow to happen, where things snowball. A bad series leads to a bad first quarter, which leads to a bad half. And now they need to pick it up to make sure it doesn't lead to a bad game when you end the half with an interception.
With a 2nd and 1. Wilson throwing outside to his tight end, Zach Miller. That is a different Zach Miller. This one formerly with the Oakland Raiders. An 8-year veteran out of Arizona State. The Zach Miller, of the Bears, was injured and is done for the season. A foot injury last week. He was playing so well, and the Bears had some plans for him to be a key part of the offense going in. He was doing some real good things. Stephen Hauschka is on the field, and he will attempt a 59-yard field goal. He made one from 55 last week. He's got a very powerful leg. And the kick on the way, it hooks, and it is good. Man, I don't know if Seattle or any team could play a better first half than the champion Seahawks did in this first half against the Bears.
Well, here it is. You look, he got every bit of it, too. When you look at Hauschka, he drives it right here. And you want to know what? You look at Seattle this year, it's one of the reasons why the NFL did not allow them to have 5 home games in prime time. They're 5-0 in primetime games. Their opener against Green Bay is their only primetime game at home. Tough place to play at CenturyLink Field.
First half, the Bears are just overwhelmed by the champion Seahawks. It's 31-0. Seattle, beautiful night for the home team and the home fans, but for the visiting Bears, it has been a nightmare. Sam Rosen along with Jim Miller and Lou Canellis. And for the Bears defense, this is totally unexpected, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely, because you look at it, they're 7 for 7 on third downs when you look at the Seattle Seahawks. Again, some self-induced. You look at a penalty on third down, that at least would have stopped one drive. How about the special teams gaps? Again, coverage units. That's been breaking down for the Bears. Offensively, the Bears were moving the football. Jay Cutler was doing a good job, and then the bad decision at the end. So it's self-induced. This is a team that needs to come out more spirited and I believe the coaching staff will probably talk to him about being more spirited and expect a much better effort in the second half.
Let's take a look at the first half stats brought to you by North Shore University Health Systems. Good balanced offense for the champion Seahawks. You see 17 first downs. They ran the ball well, 3 different running backs, passed the ball well. Russell Wilson had a phenomenal first half. And the numbers you talked about for Jay Cutler, 142 yards passing, but they couldn't sustain the offensive drives.
Well, penalties definitely really hurt the Bears, and that's what caused some drives, obviously like at the end where Jay forced the ball because they had the penalty the play before that led to a 3rd and long in that situation.
Now, from a Bears standpoint, if you're Mark Trestman, you tell the team, okay, 0-0, let's win the second half.
Well, there's no doubt. I think it sounds cliche, I know, to a lot of listeners, but one play at a time, guys. Let's focus in and play efficient football one play at a time, and I think it truly is for the Bears right now.
Darius Reynaud on the return to start the second half is brought down at the 12-yard line. We go to the sideline to Lou Canellis with the North Shore University sideline report. Lou.
Sam had a chance to chat with Mark Trestman as he walked out onto the field for the second half. He said, listen, I'm frustrated. We could not score. We couldn't finish off offensive drives. We were moving the football. And on special teams, we couldn't stop them on returns either. Jay Cutler done for the night.
Thank you, Lou. Jordan Palmer gets the call in the rotation for the battle for the number 2 quarterback spot. He had a strong finish against Jacksonville in the 4th quarter last week. Ball carried by Kadeem Carey, 6-yard pickup on the play. Jordan Palmer, Cincinnati, picked up last year, brought in by the Bears. Was impressive during the preseason and has had a good preseason here. As he battles with Jimmy Clausen for the number 2 spot. Flag goes down and a false start on the Bears. Another pre-snap penalty. Their 3rd of the game.
Yeah, you mentioned Jordan Palmer last week led the team to a couple of touchdown drives over Jacksonville and 6 for 9 for 23 yards, but already got to get used, got to be vocal. I don't know if they're still doing silent count down there right now because they were going to utilize silent count throughout the entire game. Even if the quarterback was underneath the center, it's got to be better executed by Chicago.
Santonio Holmes in the game, number 14, is wide to the left side. Kadeem Carey is the running back. Palmer is hit and sacked back at the 5-yard line. And there is Heath Farwell, the 10-year veteran. 3rd sack of the game for the Seahawks.
We'll have to take a look here and see if it was a delayed blitz. And that's exactly what it was. Kadeem Carey gets fooled on that particular. You got to step up in the hole, know your assignment. Late to get his backer on the pickup. See, over pursued it, thinking Farwell was going to the outside. Didn't happen. That's what leads to the sack.
3rd and 17. 3 wide receivers to the right side. Screen pass, Kadeem Carey. Picks up a couple of blocks and is brought down as he crossed the 10-yard line. K.J. Wright making the tackle for Seattle. And the Bears, with their first 3 and out of the game, forced to punt. The punting job won by Patrick O'Donnell. Tress Way was released earlier this week. O'Donnell has had a good preseason, strong leg, good hang time. Harold Simon is deep. Good high punt. Taking it to 44, and the Bears have it covered well. Jerry Franklin, number 53, in on the tackle, 45-yard punt.
Preseason football is brought to you by Xfinity and sponsored by Lexus, Tempur-Pedic, and Rust-Oleum Industrial Brands.
Back here in Seattle, Bears fans, it's been a tough night to watch. Defensively, Austin Lane and Trevor Scott are the ends. Will Sutton, Ego Ferguson the tackles up front. And on the carry, it's Turbin across midfield. Pickup of 6 on the play. The linebackers, Jonathan Bostic, Shea McClellan, and Kasim Green. The cornerbacks are Sherrick McManus and Kelvin Hayden.
It's just an outside zone run. Gets the lead block. Bostic brings down the tackle, but I tell you, look how those running backs just accelerate through the hole. Turbin hitting it with force on that particular play.
Adrian Wilson and Chris Conti are the safeties. Off the play fake, Russell Wilson still in the game. He completes to Doug Baldwin. Pete Carroll wanted his starters to get that feeling of coming out of the locker room and starting the second half. So they'll be in for this series, and then we'll probably see the second unit for the Seahawks come into the game. They have been dynamic on offense, scoring on every possession. And in the first half, Russell Wilson 14 for 18, 181 yards. DeMontre Hurst in as the 5th defensive back, number 30 for the Bears. Wilson handing off to Turbin. There's a flag down as Turbin gets to the 40-yard line. And we'll check out the flag. Lengthy discussion.
Personal foul, clipping, roll-up block. Number 68 offense, 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's on Justin Britt, the second-round draft pick, the rookie out of Missouri, who's trying to take over that spot on the right side at right tackle that Breno Giacomini had last year.
Yeah, and that's probably the weakest link on their offensive line when you look at the rookie. 6'6", 325 pounds, and he's been able to hold off Eric Winston, longtime veteran in the National Football League, who Seattle signed a couple weeks into camp, and so far Britt has lived up to the test, but here he gets flagged for a penalty on that particular play.
Most of the starters still in on the offensive line, though Lemuel Jean-Pierre has taken over at center from Max Unger. Off the fake, Wilson being rushed by Austin Lane. And then hit as he throws. He got rid of it and took a hit from Shea McClellan. Watch Bears Game Night Live, brought to you by CDW, following the final word on Fox 32 every Sunday night during the regular season. Be sure to catch the special season preview edition Sunday, August 31st. We have one more preseason game for you next Thursday night from Cleveland. Johnny Manziel. Will we see him get some action?
I think we're going to see quite a bit of Johnny Manziel.
Okay. Kristen Michael getting back to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play.
Here's Ego Ferguson and Will Sutton, the 2 young draft picks. Look at the point of attack right there. Good job shedding the block right there by Will Sutton. That's what you have to do, be able to get off blockers, especially in a zone blocking scheme that Seattle runs. Well done by Will Sutton.
And again, the Bears' second defense playing against most of the first-string offense for Seattle. Russell Wilson on the screen pass. Kristen Michael breaks a tackle, and DeMontre Hurst took him down. It is just short of the first down, I believe. He needed 23, got 22.
You wonder, it looks like Chris Conti gets up a little slow. And that's last thing he wants to see on the screen pass. Look at good timing. The linemen are up the field. You get the blocks. Got to make the tackle here. Chris Conti doesn't wrap up. Finally, DeMontre Hurst brings him down.
Kelvin Hayden was shaken up on the play, being checked out by the Bears medical staff. The ball is down at the Bears 35-yard line. And Hayden able to run off under his own power. That's a good sign. Nice play by Kristen Michael. As we said earlier, he's trying to win that backup running back position, and He's had a good game.
Well, you know, Pete Carroll, he preaches competition, and truly that's what it's like. I mean, it's like a rock concert when you go to a Seattle Seahawks practice in training camp. They're blaring music everywhere. Everything's competitive, and that backfield, they all know they're in the back seat behind Marshawn Lynch, but as for lugging the load to compete for the second string job, both Michael and you look at Turbin been getting after it.
Hauschka nailed one from 59 yards at the end of the first half. Tries this one from 53. Oh, and it hits the bar and bounces away. No good. Wow, he has got a powerful leg.
If that's the only negative, you're going to walk away after 2 quarters as you miss a over 50-yard field goal. They got a lot to look forward to when we look at Seattle.
First time Seattle had a possession that ended up with no points.
The Chicago Bears are presented by Chase, the official bank of the Bears since 1934. Chase, so you can.
Bears start from the 43. Jordan Palmer, the quarterback. Taylor Boggs is the center. Palmer outside, completes to Josh Morgan, and Morgan pulled out of bounds near midfield. Morgan, one of the wide receivers. Santonio Holmes and Michael Spurlock were in at wide receiver. Now Spurlock goes off and Matthew Mulligan comes on along with Jerron Mastrud, 2 tight ends. There's Santonio Holmes, has not caught a pass as yet, has been in for a few plays. Most important thing for him is to pick up the offense.
That's really it. Stayed after practice all week working with Jay Cutler, and here getting a little work tonight.
Kadeem Carey going outside and able to get a first down at the Seattle 46-yard line. The Bears All Access radio show is brought to you by Sports Authority and airs on WSCR 670 The Score. Bears All Access is hosted by Zach Zaidman and Patrick Manley and features current Bears players. First down at the 46. Two tight ends in. Mastrud lining up in the backfield. Everybody out. Palmer drops it off to Kadeem Carey inside the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. Good pickup, 8 yards on the play. Charles Leno Jr. and Dennis Rowland are the tackles. Ryan Groy and Robert Turner are the guards.
And I thought Jordan Palmer was going to take a shot because Santonio Holmes still has the speed. It was one-on-one coverage to the outside, and he blew right by Thoreld Simon, I believe that's out there. Or, excuse me, that was Jeremy Lane, who's out there at the corner spot where he was one-on-one.
2nd and 2. Morgan and Holmes, the wide receiver. Morgan goes in motion. Short drop. Santonio Holmes, his first catch. As the Chicago Bears, it's a first down at the 30-yard line.
Nice route by Holmes right there. That's how you cross a defender's face on a slant route when it's press man up at the line of scrimmage. Good quick move to get inside and cross a defender's face.
And the Bears are at the Lexus 1st and 10 line. The 30-yard line of the Seahawks. Taylor Boggs, the center. Palmer gets time, and he threw it behind Santonio Holmes.
Well, I mentioned self-induced, Sam, and that's you need a better throw than that. There's no other two ways to say it. You're throwing to your left. I know it's a new receiver, and Santonio Holmes. Got to open your hip a little more and lead it out, lead the receiver outside. That ball always on an out route has to be out to the outside, low and outside. Palmer a little upset at himself. He knows he's got to make a better throw than that.
Brandon Marshall looking on. Josh Morgan, Michael Spurlock, and Santonio Holmes, the 3 wide receivers in on 2nd and 10. Everybody out. Palmer to Kadeem Carey. It's a short pickup on the play. Bring up a 3rd and 9. Benson Mayowa made the tackle for Seattle. Jordan Palmer expected to play the third quarter. Jimmy Clausen expected to play the fourth quarter.
Well, right here, this is a situation. In order to get a first down, hey guys, just give me a little time. Right now, he should have been saying that in the huddle to get that pass protection, because he's going to need to hold on to it a little bit longer on this particular play.
Mastrud, tight end to the left, 3 wide receivers right. Palmer steps up under pressure, off the hands of Josh Morgan, incomplete. And he was covered well on the play by Thorold Simon, second-year man out of LSU. They had a little scuffle in practice this week. Earl Thomas, Thorold Simon, and Pete Carroll quieted things down.
This time of training camp, that's normally what happens, but good job keeping 2 hands on the ball, stepping up in the pocket. When you look at Jordan right there, gets hit right when he throws it.
Bears want some points. Robbie Gould from 47 yards out. The kick on the way is no good. Wide to the right. So nothing going right for the Bears tonight. Even the very reliable Robbie Gould misses, and the Bears still have no points.
The difference maker.
Seahawks start from the 37 after the missed field goal. Tavares Jackson is in at quarterback after a good night by Russell Wilson, and he connects with Paul Richardson, the rookie out of Colorado, the second-round draft pick.
Little quick slant route right there, and Tavares. You look at Tavares Jackson, he's led a team to the playoffs. Go back to Minnesota. I've always liked Tavares. He's a strong, sturdy quarterback who's mobile, has a big arm, and Brad Trill just drafted him there, and lo and behold, he ends out here with Darrell Bevel, who coached him a little bit in Minnesota as well.
That's right. Terrell Pryor is trying to beat him out. Austin Lane cutting across. That's a good tackle on Kiero Small. Good play by the defensive end, number 73, cutting across. We'll be delivering the final game of the preseason. It's Thursday at 7 p.m. Central. The Bears and the Cleveland Browns. We'll see Johnny Manziel. We'll see what he can do. They may use a 2-quarterback system in Cleveland, Mike Pettin was saying. Bears preseason football brought to you by North Shore University Health System. Hope you'll join us for that game. 2nd and 9. Tavares Jackson, the quarterback, being rushed and chased by Will Sutton, and the pass tipped away. Richardson, the intended receiver again. Bears have Brock Vereen. You saw him, number 45, in at safety. He's replaced Chris Conte. Vereen and Adrian Wilson, the safeties.
We'll see right there. Gets, you look at DeMontre Hurst. He thought that ball was going to be an interception, and receiver just sticks his hands up at the last minute to tip it. And DeMontre Hurst, there's another guy who's had a very good camp for the Chicago Bears. Can play nickel as well, and that's what he's playing right here.
3rd and 9. Lane gets there with the hit, but Lane wasn't there quick enough as Jackson got rid of it, completed it to Spencer Ware, the second-year man out of LSU, and a first down for the Seahawks. Good rush that time.
Good. Scott goes inside. Looked like a TE game between he and Ego Ferguson. Again, you got to wrap up, got to tackle Kasim Green. He's got to wrap up the ball carrier, and that's not going to make Mel Tucker too happy.
Ego Ferguson, number 95. Will Sutton, number 93. The tackles for the Bears. Pressure from Trevor Scott. That ball is up for grabs, and it is incomplete. Good coverage by Sherrick McManus, number 27, on the play. McManus trying to win a spot. He's played very well on special teams. We go down to the sideline to Lou Canellis. Lou.
Sam, a dejected Chris Conte just went to the Bears locker room. He is being evaluated for a concussion. That's a tough break for Chris because tonight was his first game back after going through the shoulder surgery that he went through in the offseason.
A rough return. Thanks, Lou. Deep drop by Jackson, got hit, but got rid of it and connects for a first down to Ricardo Lockett. A gain of 18. And the Seahawks backups are moving the football just like the starters did.
7-step drop. He's counting on a good pass rush because it's man-to-man coverage on the backside. It's man-free on that particular play. And Eagle Ferguson showing a little pass rush on the inside. He almost got to Tavares Jackson to disrupt that play.
Nate Collins, number 98 in at defensive tackle for the Bears. That swing pass to the outside is incomplete, intended for Arcedo Clark. So Nate Collins and Ego Ferguson are the tackles. Trevor Scott and Austin Lane are the ends for the Bears.
Well, not only the battle at defensive end that we talked in the opening monologue, but Ego Ferguson, can he provide that pass rush? Because he's known as a run stopper. At the point of attack, he is good at occupying blockers. But that time, on that particular deep in cut, I thought he displayed pretty good pass rush ability.
Big man at 6'2", 315. Here's 2nd and 10. And a good job by Shea McClellan. He broke through and took down Spencer Ware. Stay connected to the Bears on NFL Mobile, exclusively from Verizon, the official wireless provider of the Chicago Bears. Airtime, message, and data rates may apply. The ball just inside the 20. A 3rd and 8. McClellan comes out. Al Lewis Jean in as a 5th defensive back, number 39. As the head coach looks on, looking for a play from his defense. That pass outside is dropped. Sherrick McManus with good coverage on Phil Bates.
Good wrap up on that particular play, and plus playing the situation. This is why Sherrick McManus is having a good camp. He played the sticks. He knew what the marker was, the down marker was to the first down. So he really played the receiver well on that particular play, knowing the situation at hand.
Defense with the stop. Hauschka on for a 38-yard field goal try. He is 1 for 2 in the game. He hit a 59-yarder, missed a 53-yarder. And this one is good from 38. Seattle Seahawks continue to find ways to put points on the board. They lead 34-0.
Expert teams, coordinated care. At North Shore University Health System, excellence is always part of the game plan.
The Ford scoring drive, 10 plays, 44 yards, 3 minutes, 26 seconds on the possession. On that drive, Stephen Hauschka finished it with a 38-yard field goal. Sidoris Perry, the rookie out of Louisville, is back deep as the Bears look for a return man. Nothing has jumped out. No one has grabbed it. There's Perry's 2nd return of the night from 5 yards deep. Runs into a crowd up around the 18-yard line. And the Bears go back on offense, looking to find their first points of the game.
Copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Late 3rd quarter, Jordan Palmer still in at quarterback. 5 for 7, 29 yards. Sean Drawn, number 38, is the running back. Santonio Holmes and Josh Bellamy, the wide receivers, along with Michael Spurlock. Holmes, number 14, to the right. Josh Bellamy, number 11, in the game. First-year man from Louisville. Checking off at the line, Jordan Palmer. And they stop the play.
Delay game.
Delay game.
Another
Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's happened a couple of times and a couple of false starts in the game as well.
There's just no excuse after a TV timeout for that to happen.
Why do you think it happens?
He's late checking at the line of scrimmage. You as a quarterback have to be aware of the situation. You're dealing with the crowd. You're trying to change the play. You had press man coverage with Santonio Holmes, probably was signaling a go route. and then doesn't pay attention to the clock, the play clock. That cannot happen.
1st and 15 from the 14. Palmer threw it behind the running back, Sean Drawn, out of the backfield. And Palmer took a hit. Brian Schofield coming in with the hit. That's Schofield's singular role this season for Seattle. Rush the passer.
He is a tremendous athlete. Came out of Wisconsin, and unfortunate for him, tore his knee, was at the East-West Shrine game, goes to the Senior Bowl and tears his ACL, and Arizona still takes a shot at him and ends up on Seattle's roster, and he's been a stud. Pete Carroll loves him.
And again, they stopped the play. And another delay of game.
5-yard penalty. Second down.
A lot of noise down on the field. It is a tough stadium to play. We've talked about that, but still.
Well, it's frustrating for me because I played that. So you got to be the CEO of the offense. You got to take control. No matter what that scoreboard says, it is your job to get everybody going. And it's your job to watch that play clock and make sure the play goes off without a hitch. So take control, take command, and get it done. That's your job, your number one prerequisite and requirement.
On 2nd and 20, Palmer throwing back across, got it to Jerron Mastrud, the tight end, who gets up to the 24-yard line, pick up a 15 on the play. Brings up a 3rd and manageable for the Bears, 3rd and 5.
And you know, when things aren't going well, that's part of your job as the quarterback, is to get all 10 other guys in that huddle believing. Guys, let's go, pick up, change the tempo, do things, change your cadence, change your inflection of your voice to really let those guys know we got to pick it up. And they should have known by now. They should have picked it up well before this.
Palmer to Mastrud. It's close, but might be a half-yard short of the first down. Mastrud trying to find a spot on this team as a backup tight end, and they come up short of the first down.
Little Y stick. Like them to take it a little bit deeper. You got to know where the markers are. Mastrud, just try to inch it just a little bit further upfield to make sure you ensure that you get a first down.
We're talking with Aaron Kromer, the offensive coordinator. And the Bears to punt it away, just gotten away by O'Donnell. Good roll. And comes to a stop at the 18-yard line. O'Donnell with his second punt that stops inside the 20. Actually on the 19 is where they'll spot it. Your connection to Chicago every night. Fox 32 News at 9. Seahawks with a big lead. The Seahawks first string, a dominant performance against the Bears first string defense, even though the Bears missing Jared Allen, but Seattle from the opening kickoff took over, had 3 long drives. 63, 89, and 83 yards.
With a young quarterback, and they're going to continue to grow and get better. And they're going to go as not only on the back of Marshawn Lynch and how he runs the football, but just their quarterback can do more now. 3 years now in the league, took 2 years to win a world championship, and he shows no sign of slowing down. Just continues to grow and look better every time he steps on the field.
Tracy Robertson, number 72, and a defensive tackle for the Bears. He and Will Sutton are the tackles. And a false start this time on the Seahawks.
False start. Number 84.
Trevor Scott and Austin Lane still in at
down.
defensive ends. Christian Jones, number 96, is in at linebacker, and that's someone that the coaches are taking a very close look at. There he is. Now he's going off the field, but he's very athletic, big guy, linebacker. Think he'll be a contributor on special teams.
And that's what really Mel Tucker talked about. He said he's really shined on special teams, and I think he's going to be one whale of a strong side backer when his career is all said and done. I believe he sticks on this roster in Chicago.
Third quarter is over, and the Bears still looking for their first points, trail 34-0.
Preseason football is brought to you by CDW and sponsored by Geico, Chase, and Miller Lite.
First play of the fourth quarter. Tavares Jackson tried to set up a screen pass, and Demetrius Bronson, the running back, rookie out of Eastern Washington, not ready for it. Brings up a third down and long for the Seahawks. Bears have brought in D.D. Lattimore, number 60 at linebacker, rookie out of South Florida. Lattimore and Green, the linebackers, 5 defensive backs in. Seattle 8 for 10 on third down conversions in the game. Jackson throws and completes it. And they've got a first down up at the 35-yard line. The completion to Arcedo Clark.
Seen Green shaking his head, snuck right in behind him. We look at the receiver right there. Clark sneaks in behind him, and you just look at Kasim. He's shaking his head because he felt he could have played that better.
So another conversion by the Seahawks. First down at the 35. Movement on the offensive line.
78 offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Christian Jones back in for the Bears at linebacker. Back in their base defense, they're 4-3. Jones, Lattimore, and Green are the linebackers. Sherrick McManus and DeMontre Hurst are the corners. And Adrian Wilson and Brock Vereen, the safeties. Vereen comes up. Jackson checking off with the line. Russell Wilson played into the third quarter for the Seahawks. The carry by Bronson. To the 34-yard line. Bears will be in Cleveland Thursday night to finish off the preseason. One of those games where the starters not likely to play. Anybody who might be nicked up will be rested, but there'll still be battles for positions. I think a lot of questions remain unanswered.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, we'll have to see how Jimmy Clausen plays tonight, but David Fales probably going to get a lot of work. Young, drafted quarterback by Chicago, and probably is going to get most of that fourth and final preseason game.
Good job by Austin Lane. You talked about him trying to find a spot as a backup defensive end, rushing the quarterback and getting the Bears' second sack of the game.
That is going to be a very difficult decision. I mean, really, when you look at Willie Young, I think he struggled a little tonight. Again, they're asking him to do a lot playing right and defensive end and plus play on the interior. Then you look at Trevor Scott. He's a little bit lighter as a defensive end. I don't think we got to see if he held up against the run good enough. And now how Austin Lane's playing here in the second half is going to make it difficult on that defensive end decision.
On 3rd and 16, Jackson's pass is complete to Rashawn Allen, and he's brought down short of a first down. We're going to see the first punt of the game by the Seahawks. Up here in the booth right now, it's Miller time. Jim, what do you think?
Well, you look at this play right here, and obviously the sack right there, Lane getting it done. So that will be the play of the game.
The well-rested John Ryan, the punter, comes out for the first time. Darius Renaud is deep for the Bears at the 20-yard line. Good high kick by Ryan. Renaud. Oh, he is hit hard. Wow. And a flag on the play. And Renaud, wow, I don't know how he got up. Ricardo Lockett with a huge hit. Renaud looking to return. Took a big shot.
Score Miller Lite Bears Gear. Get details by visiting your local retail store for specially marked 12 packs from August 15th through September 30th.
There was a penalty on that hit by Ricardo Lockett. The helmet-to-helmet hit cost Seattle 15 yards. The ball up to the 37-yard line. There's Jimmy Clausen in to play the fourth quarter. And his turn to try and win the number 2 QB job on the Bears. Just under 12 minutes to go. The Bears looking to get some points on the board. The wide receivers are Amani Edwards, number 80, and Josh Bellamy, number 11. 2 tight ends in, Mascoud and Mulligan. Sean Braun, the ball carrier, and just about made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Didn't really get the push they were looking for. Here's the hit. He's just seeing if he's all right. He took a hard shot.
He seems to be okay.
He's a tough kid, as I mentioned. And hey, when he was with the Tennessee Titans, he had an unbelievable year back in 2012. Led the league 1,650 yards, 3 kick returns for touchdowns when he was with the Titans.
2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers in. And that one is complete to Dale Moss. A gain of 13 and a first down for the Bears. Jimmy Clausen, the Notre Dame star in California high school. Started as a rookie with the Carolina Panthers. And then along came Cam Newton.
Yeah, and what are the odds? Again, some things are happenstance in the NFL. Really good timing on that last pass. Hey, has 13 starts in the National Football League. So this guy comes with experience, and I thought has shown pretty well in the preseason for the Bears.
Start, number 38 offense, 5-yard penalty.
That's on Sean Braun, the running back. False start. That'll cost the Bears, and that's something that they've really got to work on. I mean, they're pre-snap penalties. I know the stadium's loud, but it's thinned out. It's not as loud, but
well, running back is much like receiver. All you got to go off is his movement on the ball. So that shouldn't happen for Sean Drone in that situation. But again, I put it on the quarterback. The quarterback's got to show a sense of urgency, the inflection of your voice, make it important, pick up the pace of your teammates.
Clausen, Amani Edwards. It's back to the 49-yard line. Clausen has had a good preseason. He's been accurate with his passing. He was signed at the beginning of June, and he's done a good job picking up the offense.
I think he's done extremely well for signing that late. When you look at June, right prior to training camp, how he's shown the command of the huddle, the poise. He makes good, quick decisions. Even Mark Trestman, he said, for both he and Palmer, the whole offense is in. There's nothing that these guys shouldn't be able to handle.
Everybody out. Clausen fires and completes to Dale Moss. That's a first down. Moss has come in. Couple of grabs. Oh, let's see. Did I jump the gun? I thought he got to the first down line. Let's see where they spot it. I think I'm short half a yard. Sorry about that.
Come on.
I just want to get a little momentum going here. 2 tight ends.
You've been the star of the show.
Mulligan.
What are you talking about? Star of the show.
Drone cuts it back down. He's got the first down and gets some more. Down to the 33.
Good hard run by Drone right there. Again, comes with more experience, and I think tonight he may have separated the gap with Kadeem Carey. We saw some issues with Kadeem early in the game, or either that or he's got to grow up quick when you look at Kadeem Carey if he's to solidify that second string running back spot behind Matt Forte. But right now, Sean Drone, other than the false start, doing some good things.
2 tight ends in. Mascoud and Mulligan, everybody out. Clausen outside. Diving effort by Josh Bellamy. And he's got the ball for a first down, or down at the 25-yard line. 2 yards short of the first down. Pickup of 8 on the play. Let's take a closer look at what's going on in the trenches with Rust-Oleum high-performance protection.
Good protection in the pocket. It's just a little streak read on the outside, giving Jimmy Clausen time to throw the ball. Right now he's got a little hot streak going. Hot hand with Jimmy Clausen.
And once again, we get a stoppage. The referee coming over, and Pete Carroll.
Seattle is challenging the ruling of a completed pass.
Okay. Well, playing it like it's a regular season game. Pete Carroll throws the flag. He wants the referee to check out that last catch. Back in Seattle. A challenge thrown by Pete Carroll, and Bill Levy has checked it out.
Little out route to Josh Bellamy, and he kept it low and outside. When we look at Jimmy Clausen, does he have possession? Larry looks like he has it.
The ball hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. With the timer put 8:08 on the game clock, Seattle is not charged with timeout. 8:08 on the game.
To me, the call's more about does he have possession, because right here, does it hit the ground? It hits the ground right there. There it hits the ground. Right. See, I would argue whether he even had possession as he rolled out of bounds.
That I agree with you on. Nevertheless, the ruling on the field overturned on review. 2nd and 10 for the Bears at the Seahawks 33-yard line.
See, something as simple as that. You see Jimmy Clausen, the officials were resetting the ball. Jimmy called him back in real quick. That's how you be assertive, get guys going, as he sees the clock is starting to wind down.
3 wide receivers left. Clausen throwing short. Pickup of 4 on the play, just inside the 30-yard line. The completion to Armani Edwards. Cut down coming up on Tuesday, as all teams have to get down to 75 first cuts of the preseason. Matt Forte, Brandon Marshall, they don't have to worry about cut down day.
Another job right there, realigning the wide receiver. Nope, wrong side. Josh Bellamy, get over here. That's a good job of quarterbacking right there by Clausen.
He fires, and the pass incomplete. Flag on the play. Bellamy, the intended receiver, Phil Adams,
pass interference,
was covering,
defense, number 28,
and it's on Adams.
At the spot of the foul.
Yeah, clearly had a hold of Bellamy's jersey right there. Easy call for the officials.
So a first down for the Bears at the Seahawks 14-yard line. And the Bears are in the Sports Authority red zone. We got there earlier in the game in the first half. Came up half a yard short of the end zone. Clausen being rushed. Nice grab by Armani Edwards. He gets down to the 10-yard line. Nice one-handed catch.
That's that slide naked that Seattle scored on in the first half. Watch the receiver come down the line of scrimmage. You got the fake. He slides underneath the defender at the end man on the line of scrimmage. Need a more accurate throw by Jimmy Clausen. Had a guy in his face, but great catch. Good concentration by Armani Edwards.
I thought Clausen did well because he was being pressured on the play.
It's tough. You got to negotiate it, and he got it in there. And Armani made a great one-handed grab.
2nd and 6, 3 wide receivers in. The toss. Thrown for a loss. Loss of 2 on the play. Good defensive play by Marcus Doughton, the linebacker.
Yeah, I think Armani Edwards upset at himself. Just makes a nice one-handed grab. A little upset at himself because he could have secured that block a little longer. As you see, his assignment's the one who made the tackle.
Bears have to get to the 4-yard line for a first down. Looking for their first points of the game. 3 wide receivers left. Clausen gets time, throws to the end zone off the hands of Armani Edwards. And the middle linebacker, Heath Farwell, is holding his knee down on the ground.
Well, it's normally what happens in the back of the end zone. As a quarterback, you're taught to throw it high like that. It's got to be way up by the cameras up there where either your receiver or nobody's going to get the ball. It's actually good ball placement by Jimmy Clausen there to only give his receiver a shot at it, but you're always leaving your feet, and you sometimes come down awkward on the turf, and hopefully Farwell is okay. He's been a good player for Seattle. Limps off. That's a good sign. It's up.
Under his own power, heading for the sideline. The Bears send out the field goal kicking unit as they want to get some points on the board. It has been an empty night. Robbie Gould missed a field goal try earlier from 47. Bears got down inside the 1 yard line on a good pass in the first half from Jake Cutler to Martellus Bennett, but on review initially called a touchdown and spotted half yard short, and the Bears failed to score. Robbie Gould from 30 yards out. And it's good, and the Bears get their first points of the game with just under 6 minutes to go. It's 34-3. There's a Ford scoring drive. The Bears getting their first points of the game. 11 plays, 51 yards in just under 6 minutes. The Robbie Gould field goal. And Jimmy Clausen 5 for 7, 36 yards on the drive.
Well, I know it might not be much. You know, it's obviously a fine drive by Jimmy Clausen, but for me, it's just watching him do the little things. Getting guys in and out of the huddle, getting them lined up. As we've said, managing the offense, being the CEO of the offense. Jimmy did a nice job of that drive.
Philip Adams takes a knee on the kickoff by Gould. And I want to steal a second here, Jim, because my nephew, Eric Eisenberg, who's from Northbrook, got engaged last night to Brittany Roth. She, too, from Northbrook, and her parents are Bears season ticket holders. So congratulations to all the families, the Eisenbergs, the Roths. It's a great time.
That is good to hear, Sam, and congratulations. That is wonderful. I'm glad to hear they're Bears fans.
Absolutely. Big time. Long time season ticket holders. Terrell Pryor's in the game at quarterback for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson played into the third quarter, followed by Tavares Jackson. Here's Pryor rolling out. His pass looked like it hit the ground and it falls incomplete. Intended for the tight end Rashawn Allen. What do you think the chances are for Terrell Pryor here coming over to Seattle?
Well, I mean, Pete Carroll loves the freaky athletes, and certainly Terrell Pryor qualifies as that. But as you see on that particular play, he somewhat shot puts the football. As for athletic ability, he can run, he can scramble, but I just think the mechanics of the position, they still may want to keep him to develop him, because he can do some nice things running the football and the bootleg game and all the things that Seattle does so well.
Tracy Robertson is in the game at defensive tackle with Nate Collins. Here's tonight's Miller Lite Player of the Game, and we're giving it to your guy, Willie Young, at defensive end.
Well, Willie Young, he had to line up on both sides of ball. 3 tackles, had 3 assists, so obviously the 1 sack right there. So Willie Young doing a nice job, and hey, Mel Tucker said he needed to have a big game. So Willie doing a good job when he was in there.
Jared Allen did not play. Here's a quick blitz. Cornelius Washington actually coming from the outside. It's an interception by C.J. Wilson. Wilson, who had the pick at the end of the game against Jacksonville to secure the victory last week, comes in and has an interception on the throw by Terrell Pryor. So that certainly is not going to help Pryor's chances.
No, it's not going to help his cause. Good pressure by the Bears defensive front, and he's somewhat panicked. He threw it up for grabs. That's the ultimate no-no for a quarterback, and that, like you said, will hurt.
Cornelius Washington seems to show up. He doesn't get a lot of playing time, but whenever he's out there, he's been good. C.J. Wilson picking up the interception. So the Bears at the 25-yard line. Sonoris Perry gets outside, turns the corner. Nice run by Perry. He's trying to find a spot. He runs hard.
That's a good burst to the outside. Good job by Matthew Mulligan setting the edge. That's what you need on an outside zone running play. Set the edge so the running back can turn it upfield, and that's exactly where Perry got to show his burst right there.
11-yard pickup. A first down for the Bears. At the 14-yard line, Josh Bellamy, Dale Moss, and Armani Edwards, the wide receivers. Jerron Mastrud, tight end to the right. Here's Perry, slashing through the hole down to just short of the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. This night has belonged to the defending champion Seattle Seahawks from the beginning. With long touchdown drives, taking advantage of Bears' mistakes. Last week they put up 41 points against San Diego, and this week 34 against the Bears. Clausen with time, goes outside for Bellamy, and it's knocked away. Thomas Wolfe knocked it away. The Chicago Bears Network presents Inside the Bears, a weekly magazine show on Fox 32 Chicago and My Chicago, My 50 Chicago. Hosted by Anthony Adams and Lindsey Petruni, Inside the Bears is brought to you by Jimmy John's. Third and 6 for the Bears. Bellamy and Moss go to the left. Little confusion on the outside. Edwards to the right. Swing it out to Sonoris Perry. And he's brought down at the 10-yard line.
Almost a predetermined play to throw the swing route because you had the receivers down the field blocking, hoping that it'd clear a lane. See the receivers already turn around.
On fourth down, the offense stays on the field. Have to get inside the 5-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 left. And Jimmy Clausen didn't like the way everybody lined up and calls the timeout.
Well, make the most of your play. He's right. There was confusion there. Guys didn't know where to line up. Jimmy Clausen looked like he was uncertain. Call the timeout. For him, this is an important rep. It's an important play for him to make the team.
For the NFL and around the NFL, coming up, first cut down to 75 players. That'll be on Tuesday. And then following the final preseason game, everybody's done with preseason next Thursday. August 30th, roster cut down to 53. And then August 31st, clubs can then establish practice squads of 10 players. That's an increase from 8. And as you said, more jobs. Fourth down and 6. A lot of noise down there still. Clausen in trouble, runs for it. He's got the first down, diving toward the goal line. He's got a first down at the 1-yard line.
Good step up. Good job knowing where the first down marker is, and he even tried to dive for the touchdown. That's really good effort. Good feel in the pocket. Stepping up, both hands on the ball.
And guess what? Flag on the play. In the backfield against the Bears. So that wipes out yet another play. Sets the Bears back. And the field goal kicking unit will come on. But a nice effort nevertheless by Jimmy Clausen. Let's not take it away from him.
Yeah, I thought good feel in the pocket that he showed right there, and just another time, a lot of self-induced pain tonight by the Chicago Bears.
Here's Gold from 38 yards out. O'Donnell the holder, and the kick is good. Robbie Gold going 2 for 3 in the game. The Bears have put 6 points on the board late. Bears trail 34-6. A little over 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Fourth scoring drive. 5 plays, 5 yards after the interception by C.J. Wilson. Robbie Gold with a 38-yard field goal. There was a holding call on that play when Jimmy Clausen looked like he had converted the 4th and 6. Bears have had 10 penalties in the game, 8 on the offensive unit.
Got to clean that up. There's no doubt about that. Hey, plenty of work to do in all 3 phases for the Chicago Bears after this game.
The deep kick by Robbie Gold and the touchback. Let's go through the air with United. A look at the Bears quarterback stats. What do you see there, Jim?
Well, I think Jay Cutler, he had a solid night. 12 of 20, you see there, 157 yards. The first string offense did move the ball. Obviously, the one costly interception right before the half, that you got to take that away. Thought Jordan Palmer, the numbers look good, but could have shown more command and awareness of situations on the field. Obviously, the penalties in terms of the delay of game. Jimmy Clausen, I know it's a blowout, but did a good job displaying that type of awareness and command in the huddle to move the team to score a couple of field goals.
Bears defensively had a rough night. Cutler and Clausen talking things over on the sideline. Bears will head home following the game.
Well, it's frustrating.
Get ready for the Browns Thursday night.
Yeah, well, it's frustrating. I mean, obviously, they're not happy with the performance and the outcome tonight. And as I mentioned, there's plenty of work to do. And you as a player, especially when you know cut-down day is Tuesday, you're going home, if you're a bubble-type guy, hey, did I do enough? Did I show enough? And nobody comes away with this feeling too good about themselves. But I can guarantee you this. They're looking straight across that field, 53.5 yards. That's what we got to be. And they're staring at world champions, and that's where they're going to try to be.
Sam Rosen, Jim Miller, Luke Canellis here in Seattle, where the Bears have had a tough night against the champions of the National Football League. The coaches have been able to get most of the players in the game. First string went the first half. On the carry, that's Bronson. Get into the good times. Good Day Chicago. Weekday mornings on Fox 32.
Well, as I mentioned going to break there, looking across the field of the type of effort and energy that is required, and certainly Seattle displays that, and how their execution was tonight. The Bears will certainly work to emulate.
David Bass, Brandon Dunn, Lee Pegues, and Cornelius Washington, the defensive line for the Bears. Pick up a 4 on the play. M.D. Jennings is in at safety with Brock Vereen. For Pete Carroll, I think his team is ready to start the season.
They've got a lot of depth. You just don't see too many weak links. So you can still think, is the D-line where it needs to be, and is the right tackle position solidified enough? There are very few holes in the Seattle Seahawks.
They'll take a knee here as the final seconds tick off. And Pete Carroll and Mark Trestman, good friends. In fact, Mark Trestman involved in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which is close to him because he knows someone who's suffering from ALS. And then he challenged Pete Carroll, and Pete took the challenge. Before the game, they were hugging it out at the middle of the field. Final seconds of this game ticking off. A huge disappointment for the Bears and the Bears coaching staff, because they felt this would be a telltale sign of where they're at in their progress in preseason. And they were dominated by the Super Bowl champions, led by that man, Russell Wilson. You can see the coaches acknowledging one another. Quick thoughts, Jim?
Well, I just think, hey, they've got a lot of work to do, but, a lot of it was self-induced, in my opinion, in the first half. Not as much to do as what Bears fans are going to think.
All right. The Seattle Seahawks defeat the Chicago Bears 34-6. Both teams 2-1 in the preseason. Don't forget, Thursday night, the Bears in Cleveland. We'll get to see Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, and the Browns. Hope you'll join us on the Chicago Bears Network at 7 p.m. Central Time. For Jim Miller and Lou Canellis, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us. So long, everyone.